Hope everybody's doing well, feeling fantastic, and excellent spirits. It is a glorious morning. A little chilly here in the Northeast. Still cold, but that's all right. Here on a Monday, February 9th, year of our Lord 2026, as we convene yet again to tap in on everything that's happening in the sports world. And although you could say this is a podcast pregame, but this is actually a podcast pregame leading to a historic moment. Now, I understand this isn't ginormous. This isn't how can I say it? It's historic from the standpoint of what it is that I'm doing, because I have never done, in the almost 8 years of my podcast, I've never done a live stream. And I understand Wednesday, 12 noon, right here on the channel, it's kind of like a podcast because, I'll talk about whatever the hot topics are and I'll go through the comments, etc. But this one is going to be different. Bio. I know it's a rough morning to wake up to know what happened there last night in Santa Clara. But as always, I appreciate you hopping on board. I know I'm going to get into a lot of stuff here on top of, and just so you know, I know you're working from home since you're the first one here. Not only am I doing this podcast pregame, but my podcast is going to be live, 11 a.m. Link is on the channel. So you're going to get the full podcast experience. And just so you know, and I'll specify it at the start, but I figured I'd clue you in now, because obviously you're one of my OGs. Yeah, I'm going to run through my assessment, everything with what's happening in sports. And then at the back end of that, then I'll take all the questions, etc. Minnesota Fats. Bad Bunny was terrible? Why you say that, Minnesota Fats? I'm curious. Let me see. Rams Seahawks already. Yeah, I can see that. And that was the Super Bowl, as we knew, 2 weeks ago. And trust me, I'm going to get all up in the Patriots because, and I know it's going to sound redundant, and Minnesota Fats, I'm doing my podcast live stream 11 a.m. right after this. So I'm going to stop this around 10:45. I got everything just about set up. I was going to move my ring light here. I got to set up my other microphone here. So yeah, this is going to be back to back. And like John Sterling once said, a belly to belly. Kind of hate to use John Sterling, but you know what I mean. But as far as the Patriots, yeah, I'm going, please. You know me, no holds barred, not holding back. And you guys heard it a million times. I know I'm going to sound redundant. I'm going to repeat myself or regurgitate it. I try not to, because I don't want to do that. But what did I say? And we know in this business, when it comes to predicting sports, it is always a crapshoot. But this one, I saw this 10 miles away. Forget about a mile away. And just to think, I said it again one more time. This offense was so offensive last night, and that Seattle defense was tailor-made. They couldn't ask for a better offense. Maybe they could have with the Broncos were there with Jarrett Stidham, but I just, something told me, I said, no way. This team is not a big-time offensive team. And even, God bless my father-in-law, even last night, he said, the Rams put up 27. I said, do you understand? They have Matthew Stafford, Devontae Adams, Puka Nacua, Kobe Parkinson. They got players. Drake may wish he had weapons like that. And I'm sure he wish he had Matthew Stafford's experience, too, on top of that. And what did I say about Sam Darnold? Did not have a good game. Didn't turn the ball over, which helps. But he did not have a good game. And it was a thing where, how many times have I said it? Sam Darnold could have an average game. And at one point, what was he? I knew he was 4 for 13. I think he was 9 for 22 at one point. He ended up with 19 for 38, 50%. And listen, the Patriot defense was excellent. They did everything they could to keep them in the game. But man, that offense was pathetic. Toppers, I know you're not feeling well today. I'd like to get your thoughts. Who's the next free agent quarterback that can win the Super Bowl next year? Daniel Jones might be too banged up to start 2026. Well, I guess the first person that comes to mind, I hate to say this, and I would not be surprised if the Steelers go after him, would be Kirk Cousins. I'm not a Cousins fan. He's a guy that, and listen, he has ability. He's won one big game in his life in New Orleans in a wild card round. What year was that? I think it was 2019. I think it was the year after. Oh, no. Maybe it was the year. It was right before COVID, I think it was. Yeah, and that's why Matthew Stafford's coming back, Bio, I would think. I think that had a lot to do with it, knowing that the Super Bowl's there. Yeah, I would not be surprised. But, yeah, so you know me. I'm going to get all of the Patriots. Wow, 37 people? Keep coming, people. Yeah, so I don't know. I got news for you. To me, that game last night obviously was a bad game. It was awful. I mean, it set football back 50 years, 60 years even. And the Patriot offense was just that, offensive. I mean, they're awful. Meeshawn Jones, you like? I appreciate you stopping by. Thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, ugh. And here's the thing. I got to my in-laws, and listen, my apologies to you guys, to my diehards, obviously to you, Bio, to Minnesota, Rhoda, Penmark, Everyday Mets, Jonathan Sean Cup, Cow, Boo, Boy, Bull, Tatsuya, and I. Because I know that I've talked about doing a halftime, and even though I made a mention that it could be tough, and I was in a house full of people, and as it was, here I was, I recorded a video at halftime, and then I had posted it while everything was going on, and I know people are like, hey, get off your phone. I'm like, I got to do this. It's important. People don't understand. They think that what I'm doing is a hobby that is just for fun, where obviously this is work, but obviously they're not going to get that. And I understand. I mean, I don't expect them to. But it's a thing where I apologize to you guys because I know I mentioned that. And then, of course, knowing that I want to do this live, who won last night? Yes, the Seattle Seahawks won, and rather convincingly. So you didn't miss much, Meeshawn. Meeshawn, where are you from? Let's start there. I'm curious. I'm wondering if Bastien from Hong Kong, or who's the guy that was from Antarctica the other day on Thursday? Let me think of his name. Hold on. I know Orange is going to jump on here. Orange and who's the other one that's rooting for the Seahawks big time? Wait, who's the guy in Antarctica? Damn it, I can't remember. And he's actually from California. I know if his name pops up, I'll remember it. But, yeah, that game last night was, I mean, please, the game was awful. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, buts, maybes about it. Oh, and what I was saying is, yeah, I got to my in-laws there actually almost 20 after 6 Eastern. The game started. Kickoff was 6:42, which still not good, but I didn't see anything. I didn't see any of the lead up. Oh, from Georgia. All right. So you didn't watch at all. I hear you. Oh, you're a Falcon fan. Michonne. Yeah, I didn't watch any of the lead up. I heard the national anthem in the background. Was it Charlie Puth that sang it? And here I was trying to prepare. I didn't even want to eat, but I ended up eating, of course. It was kind of like the Steeler-Raven game when I had to eat in the middle of the game. But, yeah, by the time I settled in and the commercials, there were a couple of commercials that were good. And I'll talk about this on the podcast, on the live stream podcast later. But, yeah, the game overall was, it's terrible. And I don't want to hear the Patriot fan. And it's funny because, you know me, I went down. I don't troll. I just like to watch some of these videos. I know David Portnoy, he's the poster boy for Patriot idiocy. And, yeah, him flashing rings the day before, the 6th Super Bowl ring. I mean, come on. I mean, jeez. I mean, seriously? You would think he's on the team or has stock in the team. And he's low-hanging fruit. He's an easy target. I don't want to give him too much shine here. But when you just see that and you just talk about how these Patriot fans, they were just over the moon. Even Bill Simmons, I got to shout him out, and he got destroyed in the beginning of his show yesterday. And he even made a mention. I didn't realize that because I really don't listen to Simmons like I once did. I know he and Cousin Sal, I don't know if you listen to Bill Simmons, guys, but it's pretty funny with he and Cousin Sal. That's a guy he worked with on Jimmy Kimmel's show when Simmons went from Boston to the West Coast. Yeah, I'll talk about that, Minnesota Fats. That's a good point. Yeah, so Simmons came out during the week. He goes, I'm confident. I don't think that Seahawks defense is great. I don't think it's this. I'm like, what? Did you see that those turnstiles on the left side of your offensive line? Number one, as if he didn't know that. Number two, again, these Patriot fans are they're hot stuff. You know, all of a sudden they think, and I got news for you, and I said this the other day, people, you know my receipts. I think this team's going to take a step back next year. Now, they're not going to go 7-10. But, and you're right, you think Drake May's going to progress. And then you hear all the excuses now. Even what's-it-called came out and said, oh, well, he's got to be more hurt than what he was, and blah, 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 and he took an injection. In the immortal words, I believe who was the one that said this? I think it was Jimmy Connors, the tennis player. If you play, you're not injured. And if you're injured, don't play. That's it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear excuses. I don't want to hear his shoulder. I don't want to hear it. He was in the game. He was awful. He overthrew pass. Drake May was an abomination. Missing his receivers. I know right out of the first, what was it? In the opening drive of the second half, and they had the ball, and that punter was great for Seattle. I understand it wasn't off a punt. Where he missed Hunter Henry. No, I think it was Austin Hooper. Wide open. That could have been a huge play to start the second half. Nope. Terrible. I'm the one that told you about the Pats' schedule this year. No, and that's the thing. Yes, me, Sean, the blue and red team was losing. And they lost. And that's the other thing. And I get it. And Toppers, it's no offense to you, but these are just like some of the Pats fans that I've seen on socials, etc., that they puff the chest out. And obviously you haven't been one of those guys. I'm sure you were confident. You thought the team were going to win. But it was almost as if they had this blind faith that they gave the Seahawks no respect, that they looked at their run and I even said that last night when they put up the graphic. Oh, the Patriots defense has given up 8.7 points in the postseason. Do you know they played on offense? I mean, seriously, the Chargers are awful. They had their own offensive line problems. And Justin Herbert, forget about him. To me, I don't want to hear him as a top 10 quarterback in the sport. And I got nothing against him. I like the guy, but CJ Stroud, I mean, seriously, I think he just threw another turnover, probably playing in his backyard with family or whatever. And Jarrett Stidham, I mean, come on. 8.7 points against those teams. And even my father-in-law, oh, well, hey, look what the Rams did. Even though they put up 27. Yes, that's the Rams. Please. I always pick the Seahawks, my best friend's a Seahawks fan. I hear you, Toppers. Listen, that defense, they just teed off. And the thing is that defense had to keep going back out there over and over and over again. As a matter of fact, I think the Drake May fumble at 12-0, where they converted to a touchdown, but that first fumble he had, well, the second one was an interception. But that fumble, did you see the sideline with the defensive players? They just went, oh. And you know what that was? That wasn't out of frustration that they were trying to move the ball and get in the end zone. That was like, oh, no, we got to go back out there again. And listen, you cannot fault the Patriot defense by any stretch. And Christian Gonzalez made just unbelievable plays. And their defense is good. It's very unheralded. And I understand with Christian Gonzalez, and you want to talk about Christian Barmore, although he didn't do much in the game yesterday. But, yeah, they need weapons on offense. And Stephon Diggs spinning the ball there with 2 minutes to go. Please. Anyway, let me get to Minnesota Fats. Poor Lindsey Vonn. Have I ever run with an injury? Well, first off, I'm going to say this about Lindsey Vonn. And if there's anybody killing her today or yesterday, because I know when she had she went out there, had to get surgery on her leg. We all know she's skiing on a torn ACL. She has the heart the size of this planet. for her to go out there to do that, I understand it's a little bit crazy. Not unprecedented, though, when you think about Phillip Rivers. He tore his ACL, if you recall, in 2007 when he tore his ACL against the Colts in the divisional game. They won, and then they lost in New England. That was the year that New England they were 18-0 before losing to the Giants. And it was known after the fact that Phillip Rivers played on a torn ACL, which is nuts. But for Vaughn to go out there and give whatever effort, and obviously her fate was, let's face it, I can't even imagine walking on a torn ACL. And here she is skiing on one, downhill. Listen, she's got my respect from here on out. People could laugh at her. People could say, you're nuts, she's crazy. Well, guess what? She laid it all on the line, and I give her kudos. For real. Because for Lindsey Vonn to do that, that was just, I understand it's borderline crazy, but that is as courageous as it gets, and it just shows you that she has the heart of a lion. And in my eyes, props to her. I think Lindsey Vonn, not too smart. I'd rather be drinking cocoa by the fire. I don't know, Minnesota. Listen, we always talk about athletes raising their game when they're injured or hurt. And I understand a torn ACL is a torn ACL. It's not like she had a pulled hamstring or high ankle sprain. But yeah, and listen, you have every right to call her crazy for doing that, but you know what? She gets my respect. 100%. Win or lose, I'll always be a Pats fan. Nah, as you should, Toppers. Because if that was my team, I'd be sick today, but I'd be like, A lot of people not getting these vomits. She was trying for our country. Thank you, Bio. That's it, Bio. You said it for me right there. And I understand that there's people that want to kill her. And I don't think I've heard people say much about her, as far as a negative. And I'm sure there's haters out there. But of course, haters, what have they done in their lives to compete? That's why they hate. To take the great words from David Goggins, haters are never doing better than you are. And that's a fact. What else do we have here? All right, I just want to make sure I'm caught up. Minnesota Fats, the blue and red team losing. Yeah, all right. Yeah, Toppers. And the thing is the schedule, I tell you. And thanks, Toppers. I appreciate that. Appreciate you. You know it. But like you said, Toppers, that schedule. And it's the thing, they lost to Vegas week 1. And they were 1-2. And then what did they do? From that point on, they won 17-18. But I get it. It was against the NFC South, the AFC South. No, that's a lie. It was actually the AFC North because the Steelers beat them. They won in Baltimore, Cincinnati. But I think they played a team in the AFC South who was on their schedule as the other game, the crossover game, because they have the 9 home games. But in this political climate, that's it. You hit it right in the head, Bio. This participation trophy climate that we live in, hey, 4th place. Nope, she went out there and she risked it. And that's all you want from athletes. You want athletes to show that they have guts, gumption. Why is it that we look back on all of the remarkable achievements in sports? The game Emmitt Smith, the famous shoulder game, final game in the regular season against the Giants, when he had a separated shoulder in the second quarter and he gutted it out, and the Cowboys won the division, had home field, and went on to win the Super Bowl. Or, I understand he wasn't hurt, but he was sick, the Jordan flu game. When we look back on some of these efforts, and I'm sure there's a lot more off the top of my head, it's not coming to me as of yet, but there's so many performances by players that were literally on one leg, or their arm is literally hanging off, or it's a pitcher. By the Kirk Gibson home run, why is that famed? The guy couldn't walk, and he hits a home run off Dennis Eckersley. That's why we love sports. And I understand it's not like Lindsey Vonn went out on a torn ACL and won a gold medal. I get that, but guess what? She tried. And I'm sure the doctor said, no, you shouldn't do this, whatever. And remember, that's an individual sport. If it was a team sport, she wouldn't have been out there. But she said, I'm willing to risk it. And come on, if you can't applaud that, then I don't know what to tell you. You want to call it a little crazy? I can understand that, but you know what? She's the one that's doing it. And to answer your question there, Minnesota, have I ever run with an injury? I have. Minor. I mean, nothing. It's not like I've had a broken foot. Well, actually, funny enough, I went running one time. This is in Florida. And I actually have it. It's on my channel. It's part of a vlog. And actually, I didn't know what it was at first, but later on I found out that my foot, I had a stress fracture. But I was running across the street in Kissimmee, Florida. And yeah, I happened to hit something. I turned my ankle, but the thing is I landed on the top of my foot and the stress fracture was right around here. So this is, let's say, my left foot. So right here, and this sucker it just blew up. And, I'll get to that in a second, Minnesota. Yeah, so I had a hobble. I tried to run on that. Yeah, it was impossible. And, but no, I've like tweaked my ankle running, turned my ankle and I kept going. We had to fight off pain, but I was just turned my ankle. So, but yeah, nothing crazy as far as a hamstring pull or, an ACL, nothing like that. I forgot Ben, AFC Divisional. That game against the Colts, I remember him taking a hit, but was he, I don't remember him. He wasn't out for that. I mean, obviously he wasn't out for the game, but I don't remember. I think he took a shot from Gary Brackett, if I'm not mistaken. No, and Ben, let me tell you something. Well, let me finish my thought. Yeah, I don't know if he had a concussion. Yeah, I don't recall that. I mean, of course, I take your word for it, but I remember he played the whole game. Maybe he went out for a play or two. Now, mind you, this is before the blue tent, this is before concussion protocol, etc. But no, I remember a game, and I've talked about it here before, where Ben, in the playoff game when they lost to Tebow, oh man, I remember him having I think he had a hairline fracture in his foot, and he hurt that in Buffalo that year. And he played that game, oh my God, he was great. He was unbelievable. And that's the one guy. To me, I've never said this, I'm going to say this here, but I've said this to other people. I understand there's better quarterbacks in the history of the sport. And I'm not stupid to say that, hey, if I'm starting a team today as far as just throwing talent, etc., yeah, I would probably, in his prime, I would probably take Aaron Rodgers. I would take Joe Montana. I wouldn't take Peyton Manning because in a big game, it was terrible. I understand he finally won the Super Bowls, etc., but look at his playoff record. It's 500. Brady, to a certain extent, but I don't know if there was anyone tougher. Maybe Steve McNair. McNair was no joke. I mean, that guy was tough as hell. He took vicious hits. May he rest in peace. But there is no quarterback that I've seen, especially in the last 20 years, as tough as Roethlisberger. He took punishment. He took hits. He took late hits. He never got the benefit of the whistle. And I think the officials took that for granted because he was so big. He slipped tackles. He did everything. That game, here's another one for you. If you recall that Sunday night game in Baltimore, 2010, and I'll never forget, I went on a cruise that week with my ex-wife and my ex-father-in-law. Came back Sunday night, Steelers at Ravens, and it may have been the first or second drive of the game where Haloti Ngata came down and hit him in his face mask, broke his nose. That sucker was twisted. First off, a flag was never called. That should have been roughing the passer. And even though that was 2010, but they started calling that even back then. But I'm sure it's on YouTube somewhere. Go back. He got hit, and his nose was twisted, and blood. And he said, no, I'm going back in the game. And I understand what is in his arm, what is in his leg, but he got hit in the nose. You figure, you know what? I'm taking a half off. Did not. And the Steelers won a game. Oh, man. And for that, I mean, how could you not love Roethlisberger? That's my guy. But, yeah, so that was that. And Minnesota Fast, you didn't say why you thought Bad Bunny was horrible. Yeah, unless people coerce me or whatever, I'll share my thoughts in the 11 o'clock hour. Most definitely. But, yeah. Like I said, the game was not good. And I know that the announcers there, Tirico and Collinsworth, it's so funny. They were talking about Kenneth Walker last night. The Chinese don't know Spanish. That's all right. Well, here's the thing, Minnesota. I get it. Put it this way. Anybody on this planet is not everybody's cup of tea. Understood. And listen, even someone like myself, there's going to be haters. There's going to be people that think, I don't know, whatever. And that's fine. That's not going to bother me. But here's the thing. His music is catchy. And I understand you don't know a word, or obviously don't know what he's saying, singing, etc. But if you watched that last night, all he was trying to do was make everyone who was watching inclusive. That's it. And it was, as you saw at the end, the message where, what is it? The only thing, something along the lines that I'm paraphrasing, the only thing that could drive out hate is love. That's all he's trying to do. Yeah, obviously he's repping Puerto Rico, he's repping Latinos, etc., which, hey, that's his platform. He can do whatever the hell he wants. But at the end of the day, and, I see some of the comments online, which is, it's a joke. The only thing stronger than love is hate. Yes. That's what it's about. And that's what he's trying to do. That was his message the whole time. And that guy, let me tell you something. You may not be a fan of his. And listen, to be inclusive, well, he doesn't have, none of his songs are in English. That's the thing. None of the songs are in English. What you said before, the Super Bowl should be the most accessible and understood performers. We should have got a pop star. Well, here's the thing about that. Should have got a pop star. Minnesota. He's the biggest pop star in the world right now. And listen, whether you want to think so, think not, believe it, not believe it, he is. And listen, I'm not breaking out the pom-poms for him. Oxo, hello. And listen, this is coming from someone who's Puerto Rican. I'm a New Yorker from New York, and I'm not a big fan of his music. Not that I hate his music, I don't. I like his last album that he just came, and I can't say I like it. I don't even know all the songs on it. There's a few songs on an album I can vibe with. Like a lot of the other stuff, my wife listens to that more than I do. Put it this way, if I'm driving in my car and I'm bumping Bad Bunny, I'm not. And it's not an affront to him. I just don't. That's just me. But the guy's humble as hell. For a guy that's a global superstar like him, he could be, if you saw some of the, I don't know if you're on social media or not, but if you saw some of the videos of him afterwards, like just hugging people and being appreciative and all that, I mean, come on, you can see it 20 miles away. And yeah, he's the one guy that he knows as much popularity, as much fame, fortune, etc., but he does not come across, now I'm sure some people they'll find something, but he does not come across like a guy that is full of it. If you tune into the Super Bowl just to continue the halftime show, then you're not a real fan. No, I got this. Yeah, exactly. You know how many of these halftimes I don't watch? Last year was Kendrick Lamar. All right? And I said this last year, and I'm sure, Bayo, you were around to hear me say this. I like a lot of his older stuff. The more recent stuff, not that it's bad, but it's not me. But he just had the biggest song that year or the year before, and that's what they're looking at, the NFL. And let me change it to this. I'm going to talk about this on the podcast later also. For those tuning in, 11 a.m., right here on the channel, you got to go to the link, though. It's already up. The NFL right now, they're trying to reach all parts of the globe. And if you haven't seen, which I'm sure Bio, you already know about this, why did they put 49ers Rams in Australia is beyond me. Seriously? You're going to put a rival game, and I don't know if that's a Ram home game. I would assume it's a Ram home game only because it said 49ers versus Rams, and usually, of course, the first team is the road team. So you mean to tell me they're going to take away that game from the Ram fan? And I hate to say it, even to a certain extent, the Niner fan, because you know they're going to try to flock to SoFi to go to that game. Why would they do that? Oh, because you want to go global. Oh, I just don't understand that. And then you're going to have a game in Paris. The Saints are going to host that game. There's, what else? There's another that's also hosting a first game. Oh, Rio's hosting their first game too. The Cowboys are going to be there. I mean, forget it. It is a Ram home game. Exactly. I'd rather play in Australia than have 40. That's true too. I hear that. Absolutely. What's the deal with this channel? Kids Tube Cartoon. Yeah, I'm just talking sports. I'm talking Super Bowl. If you like sports, love sports, gotta have it, can't get enough of it, this is the channel for you. If you can, hit that subscribe button. I appreciate it. And where are you from, Kids Tube? Curious. So this is the point of the NFL and what they're trying to do. I don't agree with it, to be quite honest. Oh, you're welcome, Kids Tube. I don't agree with it. The NFL speaks for itself. Unlike basketball, where obviously they have an international appeal. Baseball, same. Football does not. And unless they're opening up academies in all these parts of the world where the NFL's pumping money into those countries, into those continents to, sports are great, everyone, don't they? Yeah, that's right. You tell them, Bio. I love it. Yeah, unless they're funneling money to those areas, and I understand you see it to a certain extent with the flag football and some of the NFL commercials. Please, like, who's playing tackle football in Melbourne, Australia right now? And I know they showed the people there. It's so funny. I hate to throw cold water on the NFL. Sometimes I don't hate to. Sometimes I do. In this case, I don't because it sounds like I'm just railing against them. But I know they showed the locations where they're going to have games next year where the fans were in the pub. Hey, Melbourne, Australia. Everybody's cheering and they got their Patriots or Seahawks jerseys on. It just makes you think, like, come on. I mean, is that orchestrated? Like, did the NFL say, hey, let's just go to this one place, get all the NFL, as many NFL football fans as we get there, we'll send them some jerseys and just put it on so they can represent. I mean, come on. To me, that just seems so manufactured. And it's not like they went to areas that weren't. Like, let's say they went to China and say, hey, here's a place in China with it. I'll be like, okay, all right, great. No, they went to Melbourne, they went to Rio, and they went to, I didn't see Paris. I think it was Melbourne. And there they are, like, wearing NFL stuff. No, sorry. I'm not buying that. That's like the NFL with the draft. I understand the draft is a huge deal. I get that. And the game's in Pittsburgh, the draft's in Pittsburgh in April. But when you have fans of the Arizona Cardinals in a little section at the draft, are those people really Cardinal fans? And if anybody's traveling from Arizona to go watch the NFL draft, then you got to find something else to do. And listen, I used to go to the NFL draft, which I've shared with you guys before, and I don't recall seeing back then, which is now, yeah, I understand it's in the 90s into the 2000s. The last NFL draft I went to, 2010, I think it was Radio City. But yeah, I didn't meet fans that came. Listen, if they came from Philly, if they came from maybe even the Midwest, all right, fine. But nobody's coming from LA at that time, San Diego, whatever. They come, oh, I got to be here for the draft. And they're picking in the first round in the 20s. No. Not happening. So there's like to see them have their contingent, the Cardinal fan or the Tennessee Titan fan or trying to think of another team, the Houston Texan fan. I mean, stop. Teams that travel, the fans that travel are one thing. But no. So yeah, I'm not buying that. But yeah, so that's what they're doing here. They're going global. Minnesota. Oh, what is this? Having Bad Bunny perform the Super Bowl is like having Garth Brooks perform at the World Cup. Well, if they want to have Garth Brooks perform at the World Cup, listen, they have the right to do that. People just need something to complain about. Yeah, I know. And it's just, and Minnesota, that's definitely not on you. I know that, hey, listen, and you have the right to feel how you feel. This is a safe space. There's no way that you feel how you feel. I respect that. I do. But, yeah, and you can say that too, right? If Garth Brooks is going to be performing at the World Cup. Understood. It's like, hey, what the hell's going on here? But if they feel like, hey, we want to have Garth Brooks be at the World Cup, then have at it. And no sweat off my back. I just don't watch Garth Brooks. I'll change the channel. Just like if Garth Brooks, did he perform in a Super Bowl one year? I don't even know. If Garth Brooks was performing there yesterday, I wouldn't watch it either. I want to see Chris Gaines at the World Cup. But I don't even know who Chris Gaines is. You see, I got to look him up. I couldn't tell you Chris Gaines if he knocked on his door and walked in here. Y'all remember Garth Brooks turning into Chris Gaines? Oh, is that him? Oh, that's right. Hold on a second. Yo, why is he looking all emo in these photos? See, but that goes to show you. Yeah, country I can't do. I'm not a country fan. Chris Gaines is a one-off fictional rock persona created as a movie character for Garth Brooks, blah, blah, blah. And remember when Garth Brooks was going? I remember he went to Mets camp one time and actually, did he play in a game? It was exhibition, of course. But look at that. You had me at Chris Gaines. I didn't even know who that was. Yeah, look at him here. He got the haircut and all that. Yeah, and I couldn't even tell you. Garth Brooks, I mean, listen, I don't want to pile on the guy. I missed a lot because I didn't know what Bad Bunny was saying. Can you give the non-Spanish speakers a vibe? Yeah, he did play a spring training game. Well, it was with the Mets, I believe. And I think he was in another camp too. Maybe the Pirates. Mets, I know for sure. Well, here's the thing. Minnesota, I know the vibe because of the music. Just the music. And watching it visually, see the dancers, etc. And yeah, I don't want to hear about these people talking about, oh, look at these girls dancing, blah, blah, blah. Oh, it's terrible for the girl. I mean, it's not as if they're wearing thongs and bikinis. I mean, come on, give me a break. And how else are you supposed to dance to that music? So yeah, I don't want to hear from those people either. Not for nothing. But the thing is, the vibe is the music. And there's been a lot of people that don't know Spanish, but they just, the music, just the beat, and they get into it. And like I said, the majority of this music does nothing for me. Was the music about love, work, or family? Oh, I get you. So you want to know the theme of the music? Well, a lot of the theme of the music is, it's about partying. It's about maybe a different kind of work, if you know what I mean. Not line of work. Because I know like the first song, it's Go Ask Your Auntie. But it's a go ask your auntie about all the girlfriends that you have. And this had to be translated to me because my Spanish is terrible. And his second song is pretty much twerking. You know, it's about a girl dancing by herself, but she's twerking, you know, she's in her own state doing a thing. And I get it. The music's not for everybody. It's not. I understand. And like I said before, that music will not be playing in my car or my headphones in the house if I'm cleaning. I am not listening to that. Straight up. And people can say, oh, look at this guy, blah, blah, blah. It's just not, it's not. And like I mentioned, on his album that he won a Grammy on, that's his most recent one he came out with, there's some songs on there that I actually like and I vibe to. I'll admit it. But have I downloaded any of the songs? Have I downloaded the album? Do I listen to that on repeat? Absolutely not. And it's not a slight or knock on him. It's just preference. That's all it is. Just like whomever is the hottest music act in the world right now, and I'm a bit of a contrarian, I admit. I'm a little bit of an old school guy. But I'll admit, like, if something is catchy or something's good, I got news for you. That damn K-pop song, Golden, that's every time I hear it, that stays in my head the rest of the day. And I don't listen to K-pop at all. And don't be surprised if a future Super Bowl is going to have a K-pop star or a K-pop band. Again, global people, you got to think what the NFL's thinking global. I'm telling you, I would not be surprised next year. Whomever there's going to be the hot K-pop artist, don't be surprised. Now, I will say this. It'll be a little bit too late if you ask me by now. But I am surprised Taylor Swift has not performed at a Super Bowl yet. Who knows if that's going to happen. And not that I care, because again, Taylor Swift, her music does nothing for me. Remember when Garth Brooks played left field for the Padres? Oh, that's what he did. He played left field. Bio. Yeah, I can see him stick him in the outfield for what, an inning or whatever. Yeah, the Padres was the other camp, because I remember he was with the Mets. Let me see. Look that up. Garth Brooks, spring training. Oh, that was that long ago? Garth Brooks, that was in 2000 with the Mets. Yep, and here it is also. Brooks tried one more time to have success as a professional baseball player with the Royals. But I saw something with the Padres. Hold on. Yep, with the Pirates, just like I thought, in 2019. Wait, I thought I saw something with the Padres. Hold on. Yeah, Brooks signed with the Padres for spring training in both 98 and 99. However, the Padres didn't offer him a contract. Shocker. And then Brooks went to the Mets in 2000. And then 04 with the Royals. And then participated in spring training with the Pirates in 19. And there you go. All right, if I were to tell you who's the hottest team in the NBA right now, without looking, who would you think it is off the top of your head? The hottest team in the NBA. No, it's not the Cavs. Minnesota, good guess. Not them. I know then James Harden, what was it, in Sacramento? Travis Scott jumping on the court and all that. Not the Cavs, not OKC, not the Knicks, not the Pistons, not even the Warriors. Have they won 8 straight? I thought they lost the other night to, whatchamacallit? Wait, now you got me confused here. Hold on there. Minnesota. Yeah, no, they lost the other night. No, I wasn't going to say it. Bio hit it. The Charlotte Hornets. And here's the thing. Other than LaMelo Ball, you probably can't name their starting 5 or like either 3 other starters. The kid from Alabama was Brandon Miller. And they won 9 in a row. And the thing is, listen, I'm not going... They got destroyed last night. That to me, oh. And I kind of saw that coming. Yeah, he definitely is, Bio. And I know he faced a lot of flack coming out of college with that incident off the court, where I think it was part of a, didn't like a girl get killed? And he was, I don't want to say he was an accomplice, but. Charlotte was won 9 in a row. By the way, H2O, it's water. Yeah, I'll get to Tatum in a second, Victor. Now, Charlotte, I only bring them up because now they're the 10 seed and the trade deadline is come and gone. I get it, whatever. But I kind of wonder if they could be sneaky good. Listen, they're not going to the NBA final. They may not even make the play-in tournament, let alone compete in it. But I have to say, I like teams that are so far off the map and the radar of the NBA when they start playing well. It's good for the league, I think. They have, what, a game lead? Yeah, over the Bulls. But the Hornets in that winning streak, by the way, it's not as if they beat the dregs of the league. They beat San Antonio, in Houston, by the way, Philadelphia, and Orlando during that streak. It's not bad. Especially in Houston. Came to give the customer a like, love you, man, killed to go work. Oh, Vic, I appreciate that, man. You know that. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. Thank you twice more than once. For real. Appreciate you, Vic. Yeah, the Hornets. Listen, because every time I look at that 7 through 10 in the East, I feel like I'm looking at last year. Thanks, man. Thanks, Vic. I feel like I'm looking at last year's standings, the year before that. It's the same teams. It's always Miami, Atlanta, Chicago, and either Orlando or throw in another team. And look at this. Wait. No, Sacramento's the worst record. Yeah, my NBA over-unders are terrible too, by the way. Vlado! What is happening? I know, I got to get back to your comments and some of the other comments that people have written. First off, Vlado, how's your mom? How is Marjana? Always in our thoughts, prayers. Sacramento, 12 in a row they've lost. Wow. Yeah, my over-unders have been terrible. And I'm usually good with the NBA. Last year, I think it was 5-1. Oh, this year's going to be terrible. You ready for this? Here are my over-unders. I picked 4 overs and 2 unders. I thought they were going to have a good year, despite no Damian Lillard. I picked Milwaukee 43.5 as an over. Ugh. Orlando 51.5 as an over. Ugh. Knicks 53.5. That was a lock. And get ready for this. I thought they were going to have a good year too. Dallas 41.5. I just thought they were. Now my unders, I only picked 2 of them, but I think I'm going to be safe there. Memphis 39.5. And although they played a lot better, but they're not getting, as a matter of fact, they're what, 6 more losses, they're toast. The Clippers 49.5. So I'm going to end up 3-3, which is not good. And my NHL over-under point totals, I think those are actually better. And as we know, the NHL's on a break right now. NHL, I have my overs. Anaheim, 84.5. They're at 63. That should be a slam dunk. Carolina, 105.5. They're at 78. I think they're going to get that too. Then Dallas, 103.5. They're going to get that. They're at 77. Florida, under 105.5. To me, that, when I first saw that number, that was a slam dunk. San Jose, now this is going to be my bad one. San Jose, 70.5, but they've really had a good year, considering how they started. And Nashville, 86.5. And they're at 59. So I actually may go 5-1. Yeah, San Jose was bad. Started off good, but yeah. Anybody watching St. Anthony? Are you talking about Anthony Edwards? Vlado? Yeah, here we go. Skiers back, injured, Vaughn's racing try. Yeah, I mean, come on. People are going to kill it for that? Oh, the Brewers traded Caleb Durbin. That was the guy that was in the, deal? in the Devin Williams. Wait a minute, what? This is a kid that they got in the. Wait a second, no. They couldn't have traded this guy, did they? So the Red Sox got Caleb Durbin, who I believe was in the running for Rookie of the Year last year. He's a punch and Judy player. He's punch and Judy hitter, I should say. Plays infield, third base, and left-hander Kyle Harrison headlining the three-player package headed back to Milwaukee. Includes infielder Dave Hamilton, Shane Drohan. Yeah, Kyle Harrison. This is the guy that they traded for Rafael Devers. So they shipped him for Caleb Durbin? Durbin, 256, 11 homers, 53 RBIs, 18 stolen bases as a rookie. I guess they felt like they had enough pitching, which you can never have enough. All right, well, hey, Red Sox get their man. Oh, Marcelo Zuna is joining the Pirates. What else? Nothing left to prove. Resilient Sam Darnold makes ultimate statement. Darnold wasn't great in the game, though. I mean, that's... But, listen, he wasn't bad either, but... No, and that's the other thing, too. Punch and Duty, great... Yeah. Bio, you and I, we know. The sports lunatics that we are. Yeah, Sam Darnold, come on, how could you not be happy for this guy? The greatest quarterback redemption story the NFL's ever seen? That's Darryl Orlovsky. Greatest quarterback redemption story the NFL's ever seen. Quarterback redemption. I beg to differ. Has he heard of a guy named Jim Plunkett? Let's start there. Let's start there. That guy was a number 1 overall pick, New England Patriots. You probably never heard of Jim Plunkett. I'm sure he has, but you see, this is what I mean. And I get it that Darnold was 3rd overall, and it's not a matter of where they were in the draft spot, but Jim Plunkett, that guy was battered, bruised, bloodied, etc. in New England, and then plays in Oakland, then to LA with the Raiders, and he wins not 1 but 2 Super Bowls. So, yeah, I disagree with that. Because that's more of a greatest redemption story. And I get it. Everybody's the recency bias, prisoners of the moment, and Orlovsky should know better. I can see if he wants to say, yeah, it's one of the greatest redemption stories in the history of the sport. All right, I'll give you that. And I understand Jim Plunkett's unheralded, but come on. I tell you, I mean, that's the thing with these people. And I got nothing against Orlovsky. Oh, Nolan McLean changed his number. I just realized that. Oh, I don't know how I feel about that number. 13? Go back to 43. She is good? Oh, that's great to hear. Oh, that's the second Epstein thing I got. David Solomon. Yeah, if I cut this hair, maybe. I don't know. But how do I look like Jeffrey Epstein? I said this the other day. I think this was on the last live stream I had on Thursday. You want to say Aaron Hernandez? All right. Not that that's any better, but please. To be associated with Jeffrey Epstein looking like him? Ugh. But I hear you, David. Thankfully, that is not I am not David Epstein. Or David Epstein, excuse me. Jeffrey Epstein. But Vlado, that's great to hear. That is awesome. Please, send her my well wishes, send her my love. Tell her that we're all thinking about her. And Vlado, just so you know, I'm actually going on live. Charlotte question. If you were to bet, no, I would not. Wait, you're talking about a regular season game? The mighty one. What's good? Hey, we're alive, we're breathing, we're winning. That's what's good. Would I bet him against in a one game or in a series? Now listen, they beat Houston in Houston the other day. I mean, that's pretty good. But Vlado, I'm actually going to have a live stream. I know this is one like through the phone, through the app, but I'm going to do like my live streams on Wednesday, 11 o'clock, or in 20 minutes, which I'm going to log off here in the next 5 because I still got to finish setting up. But my podcast that you hear or that you watch on YouTube that I haven't recorded and posted, I'm doing it in reverse. I'm doing a live, and then I'm going to take the audio and put that on my website and Apple, Spotify, etc. But I will say this, if you're going to hop on board, which obviously you're more than welcome to do so, I won't answer any questions or comments until I'm done with my podcast. You're going to see all right, Mighty One, I appreciate that. Yeah, it's top of the hour. So the podcast that comes on that I usually post here on the channel, which is recorded, it's going to be live today. And I will say this, for the foreseeable future, just giving this a little test run. You make the best bitch roll? Oh, wow. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Mighty One, thank you. And I won't stop. This is what I love to do, man. This is why I quit my job 2 years ago to do this. As everybody knows by now, not to belabor that, but listen, I will not stop. This isn't a hobby. This isn't like, oh, let me see if this is going to work. No. All my chips in the middle of the table. And that's the other thing, too. I don't want to clap at, and I'm not clapping back at them, but like some of the content creators, even yesterday. Yes, thank you, man. Appreciate you, Mighty One. It's just, I don't know. I see some of these kind like this one guy, the Patriots, he came on yesterday and his video, he goes, I know the Patriots are awful, blah, 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 but Drake May showed you a lot of toughness. He threw for 235 yards in the fourth quarter. I was like, my guy, the game was over. Seriously? You're going to post this out there to make people believe that Drake May actually had a good game? I mean, come on. You want to fool the 20-year-old? All right, you can do that. Or the 30-year-old? You ain't fooling me. I mean, how do people put out content like that? And I understand, you look at this, he's probably 25, I understand. But how do they do that? I'm serious. I wish, even if I found it, I wouldn't want to give him the, and I kid you not, he came out and he said how Drake May, yes, I know the Patriots are bad, blah, blah, but look what he did in the fourth quarter. If this doesn't show you that he has toughness and ability, blah, blah, yeah, it's rigged. It is. It's like, oh, so you forgot the first 3 quarters when he threw for like 85 yards, if that. I think the net yards had to be in the 40s with all the sacks. Come on, man. You ain't fooling anybody with that. He's probably the same guy that thinks that James Harden is one of the top 10 players in the history of the sport. All because of his offensive metrics. God, stop. I'm sorry. I can't respect a content creator that's going to put out stuff like that. Cannot. And hey, do you. I don't care. You can get a zillion subscribers. I'm not going to be jealous. Have at it. But you ain't fooling this sports fan. That's why in my videos I say you want real sports talk, true sports talk, passionate sports talk, no clickbait, no rage bait, none of that. This is the channel for you. If you want the clickbait, rage bait stuff, Hey, listen. Or if you want to have both, fantastic. You ain't getting that here. You're not going to hear me say, and people can look at what I'm going to say. Wait till you hear what I got to say about the Patriots. I'm kind of saving it. And you know me, I go in. And I'm not going in just because I have a vendetta or because what. No, I go in because it's true. So, Where we at? 10:45? All right. Before I sign off, as always, I appreciate you guys. Hopefully, you guys will hop on board in a few moments, as well as everybody else. Also, I want to put up another video. I got to do it on my Instagram. I didn't do that on my Instagram just yet. But, yes. So in the next 15 minutes, I will see you at the top of the hour. I'm going to sign off now. It's going to be on. It's going to be popping. And one more time, you can leave comments, post, etc., but I'm not going to respond to them until after I go through everything. So unlike the Wednesday live stream where obviously I'm going straight through. At the very end, I'll go back and I'll do the comments. I'm going to pick out the comments that obviously are going to be productive toward the live stream. So I know in the past, when people are saying hello, what's up, I'll make a mention of it, but I'm not going to post a comment on the screen like I've done. Wednesday, I'll do that when I get to high noon. But for the sake of the podcast, I'm going to keep it moving. So whoever has a comment, question, critique, praise, whatever, I'll put that up. But anything else other than that, So that's what I got. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys in a few minutes. I'm looking forward to doing this. It's my first ever live stream podcast. Everything's just about ready to go. I got to move this ring light here, get everything set up. And I can't even say I'll see you on the flip, literally in the flip, like 13 minutes. Looking forward to it, people. You already know. Hope to see you there. Until then, on the flip.